Hello, everybody, and welcome to lesson 3.2 of the Effectology Method program. Let's keep this show moving. We're doing some great work at the moment. So, module 3, just a reminder, is all about becoming super magnetic, really starting to magnetize yourself to all those things you desire so that the external world of you can start to mirror the internal world. So in lesson 1, we talked about mastering those simple things and basically just focused on living in appreciation, having your vibration at the highest possible point you can and really getting used to that, getting a new set point, a new normal going for yourself, and getting better and better at allowing yourself to reach the highest possible vibration each and every day. And it won't be exactly the same each day, hashtag because life. However, each day, by being conscious of it and by having the tools, you'll be able to reach for the best feeling place possible. And you will also start becoming more and more sensitive to your vibration, to noticing when you're starting to drop down and be able to quickly catch that and help yourself stay in the best feeling place possible, because that's where you can access all the resources you need. That's where you can access all the answers to your questions, all the solutions to all the problems. So yes, sometimes we have low days, and that's totally fine because you are human and that's life. But then, there comes a point when it starts being unresourceful, and it's time to start moving up that emotional scale and starting to reach for the higher vibrations, where you start then once again consciously creating your reality. So today we're going to move on to exactly that, becoming more conscious of it and really choosing your vibration more consciously, more frequently throughout the day, so that you can start high and stay high. And I think this quote by Will Smith really sums it up. Stop letting people who do so little for you control so much of your mind, feelings, and emotion. And look, it's how most people operate. They just keep looking to the outside of them and reacting to whatever's going on, reacting to what other people say, what other people are doing, what other people are thinking. So they're not taking control at all. They're not consciously doing anything. They're unconsciously just reacting and then feeling powerless, feeling like a victim and feeling like the world is conspiring against them, because they don't understand that, in fact, you have the choice. And you have that choice in every single moment. Every moment is an opportunity for you to choose anew, for you to make a fresh start. What's happened before is totally irrelevant. The only thing that determines the reality you are creating is what your vibration is doing, what your vibrational set point is, what your electromagnetic signal is right here, right now. You can't undo the past. You can't jump ahead to the future and start vibrating there now. You can only do it right here, right now. And when you spend your life as if you're driving, looking in the rearview mirror, you're going to keep having crashes. And unfortunately, that's what most people do. They're moving forward, but they're looking backward, which means that they're actually bringing all their past baggage with them and just starting each moment based on the past. So they're recreating the same over and over and over again, thinking that there is no other way, thinking that they don't have a choice. But you do, because every moment is a completely fresh new start. What happened a minute ago is completely irrelevant. So this is a good time to kind of talk about this, and that it's really all about perception. And how you perceive anything is totally up to you. And in the group discussion, we had that great example of, the moments of road rage and just reframing it. Well, that person, maybe they're in a real hurry. Maybe they have an emergency going on rather than, all drivers are idiots. So your perception, the way you choose to see it, will totally choose the way you feel. And at the end of the day, how you feel is much more important to whatever that person did and why they cut you off in traffic. How you feel should be your most important thing to worry about, because how you feel decides everything, and it'll decide whether you get more of those people who annoy you coming into your experience or less of them. So when you just keep reacting to what's in front of you, all you're doing is you're going around a revolving door, and you just keep creating the same over and over and over again. So it's really time to break free of that cycle. And, you know, another good example is, say you're feeling really upset or hurt because a friend of yours just hasn't been returning your calls. They haven't been getting back to you. They've kind of been ignoring you. And so you start to make up all these stories in your head about, oh, you know, maybe she doesn't appreciate me anymore, or maybe her husband doesn't like me, or maybe she's outgrown me, or maybe she had her feelings hurt because of something I did, or maybe she's jealous of me, or maybe I said something, and you go off in a total spin wondering what the hell it's all about and making it all about you. But guess what? It's never about you. So what if your friend has some personal issues going on? What if something's happened? What if she had some bad news, some bad medical news? What if her relationship's in trouble? What if she's too embarrassed to speak to you? So, you know, that's just another example where the way you choose to perceive it changes everything. And Wayne Dyer is quoted as saying, "What other people think of me is none of my business." And in fact, I think he nicked that off somebody else. I don't think it's actually his quote, but most people relate that to Wayne Dyer, and certainly a very enlightened individual. So it's totally true. What other people think of me is none of my business. Don't let other people train your vibration. Take control of it yourself, because at the end of the day, whatever they're doing has nothing to do with you. It's not about you. If they're upset, if they're acting out, it's just because they're projecting their unresolved stuff onto you. They are creating their reality, whether they're doing it consciously or not. And if they feel like a victim, they're going to bring you into that story and make you a perpetrator. You know, this is the sort of stuff that goes on. And when you start to realize that everything on the outside of us is just a reflection of what's going on the inside of us, it takes all the pressure out of it. It takes all the stress out of it. And you can let other people have their experience without getting emotionally dragged into it. And you can just focus on your own experience, on your own perception, on your own emotion. Right, so since we're talking about, you know, those sort of more tangible, practical, everyday things, I just want to throw this in here because it's a really, really helpful little tip. Use your superpowers for good, not evil. So your unconscious is incredibly powerful. It has unlimited resources. They're available for you. It knows where, you know, it stores all your memories. It's the seat of your emotions. It's an incredible powerhouse, and it's also your connection to the collective unconscious. And I want you to think of your unconscious like Google on steroids. When you ask it a question, it starts searching for the answers. So use that to your advantage. When something happens that you have a negative emotional reaction to, ask your unconscious to help you see it differently. Ask it questions like, what if that's not true? What would I need to believe to feel differently? I wonder how else I could look at this situation. And this last one I think is a really good one. How would my more evolved self react? And when you ask those questions of your unconscious, of yourself, it starts searching for the answers. It starts looking for ways for you to be able to see that situation differently, for you to be able to feel differently about it. So that's a really powerful little practice. And immediately it gets it searching for the answers to those questions, which are much more empowering, much more resourceful than for you to be focusing on what you perceive to be happening that's a negative thing. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that one in there because it's very, very helpful little tip. Now, let's talk about this. You are an electromagnetic being. And we've talked about this throughout this program. I want you to remember that. That's really, really important. You have electrical thought energy and magnetic heart energy. And this quantum field, this field of infinite possibilities that we all live in, it is also an electromagnetic field. And every eventuality, every potentiality, every event that exists as a potential in this field has an electromagnetic signature as well. So it's a matter of you becoming a match to the event. And remember that this field responds to your signal as a whole. So it's actually a matter of matching both the thought and the feeling at the same time on the same subject or on the same vibration. Now, for most people, even if they start understanding law of attraction, that only happens very sporadically. It doesn't happen, that they just master it and then that's it. They kind of come in and out of this coherent state where both the electrical signal and the magnetic signal are on the same wavelength, where they're smooth, where they're coherent, where they're matching each other. So for most people, they pop in and out of this alignment, out of this coherent state, and that's when they suddenly manifest something and they go, wow, that was really cool. I am doing this right. And then nothing happens because they've popped back out. And, they start thinking, okay, well, I am doing it right. I just need to do it more. I need to do it harder. I need to focus more. I need to, really master this. And what they're not understanding is that it is not about thinking about it more. It is about making the thinking and the feeling match more consistently. That's it. That's all it is. Once you consistently match the thought with the feeling, you get a coherent signal. And then it's a clear signal. And that is what the field responds to. When you are in coherence, that is when the field responds to you. That is when you're instructing the field. So remember that thought connects, but feeling attracts. Absolutely. But they're not independent of each other. They still need to be a match at the same time in order for you to instruct and affect the quantum field so that it actually responds to you. So thought is really about intention. It's about, what do I want? What outcome am I looking for? And then feeling is the vibration. That's the language of the universe. And when the two are in alignment, that's when you are the creator. So yes, you are the creator of your world, but there are certain times where you are communicating with that quantum field to get exactly what it is you're asking for. Now, if you haven't yet looked into the Heart Math Institute's work, make sure you do. They do some amazing research around all of this. They're very big on the heart coherence, on the power of heart coherence, and on teaching it to people and on helping people understand that state, that's the one we're looking for. Not only is it incredibly good for us, it's a very healthy state to be in, because your whole system, your whole body is then actually in coherence. It's all operating at its most optimum. But when you're in coherence, that's when you can consciously create. And one of my favorite experiments done by the Heart Math Institute, it's quite famous, was one where they had monks who were, very well trained in meditation, really powerful meditators. And they lined them up and they gave them little vials of DNA to hold. And first they asked them to simply set an intention and visualize the DNA, the double helix, unraveling. They did that. They measured the outcome. Nothing really happened. Okay, so that's thought alone. That is the intention alone. Then they asked them to simply hold the vials of DNA and really reach the most elevated emotional state possible. Really meditate and get into that high vibrational state. Get up into love, joy, bliss, those emotions, and hold that frequency. Again, they checked the result. Nothing really happened. So the vibration, the feeling on its own, Didn't make any difference. Neither did the thought, the intention on its own. Then they did it again, and they asked the monks to set an intention to unravel the double helix of the DNA molecule and feel the appreciation and gratitude of having their request honored. So they went back into that high vibing place, but the difference was that they had set the intention and then matched the two up. And as a result of that final version, they actually found that the double helix of the DNA molecule in some cases untwisted by as much as 24%, which is absolutely astounding. So that's a beautiful demonstration of how you really have to get coherent and have the two matching. Now, we've been talking about starting on a high vibration and staying on a high vibration. And we've also already talked about setting intentions. We've talked about visualization, how to do it. And I've also explained to you that, you know, the visualization, the intention part, it's not about needing to repeat the order to the waiter over and over and over again. Once you've connected with that potentiality, with that event in the quantum field, it has your electromagnetic signature on it. It's yours. Abraham calls it the vortex. You know, it kind of goes into your vortex, into your little storehouse of things that are waiting for you, things that you've put out for. So that's all cool. But what we really need to focus on is getting the vibration to match that end result consistently enough so that we actually start to manifest what we desire on a more consistent basis. So this is not about having, you know, the odd thing here and there suddenly happen as a huge surprise. It's about continually growing and evolving and having all of life be nothing but a series of amazing moments where things come out of the quantum field into your reality and you actually maintain that state more and more frequently. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down a little bit more into smaller pieces, make it a bit more digestible and easier for you. Because if I said to you, listen, you've done the visualization of all the wonderful things you want, now just stay in that high vibrational state as long as possible. That sounds really simple, but it's actually extremely challenging. So we're going to break it down even into little bits of intention along the way. And we're going to find ways to keep bumping your vibration back onto the wheel, back onto where it is you need to be. So yes, we're going to start high. And now we're going to talk about some extra things you can do to stay high and also become even more deliberate with setting those intentions. So what we're going to work on is, I'm going to give you 4 different tools basically today. So setting intentions. This is what you'll be practicing this lesson. First of all, the grid, which is an Abraham Hicks process. And the way I teach it and the way I use it is that you set an intention for the day. You get yourself into the vibrational state and set an intention for how you want your day to feel, what kind of day you want to have. So it's the theme for the day. We're also going to talk about power words, which are really about helping you stay connected to that bigger picture. Because remember, we don't want to start micromanaging the universe and getting stuck on the horrid house. We want to stay connected to that bigger picture, the more evolved version of you that you started bringing to life and creating back in module 1. And then we're going to talk about micro intentions, really breaking it down so that you can keep practicing on little things all throughout the day, practicing, staying in coherence, and also to help you keep remembering that you are the creator of your life. And then to help you stay high, stay in that high vibing place, we've already talked about living in appreciation and the little things you can do to help you stay in that high vibing place. And we're going to add in happy habits, which will help you maintain a generally high vibing state. And that just makes everything flow so much easier. So they're like your little boosts along the way, because you want to start high and do what you can to start as high and get as stable on that vibration as possible every morning with the things we've already talked about in the previous lesson. And then the trick is, as you go about your daily life and all the stuff on the outside of you starts happening and starts getting your attention, you want to have the happy habits there to help you stay on that high vibing disc, to help you stay in that high vibing place. So this happy habits part is actually in many ways the most important thing, because your vibration trumps everything. The things you've put out for, the things you desire, you've already connected to them out in the quantum field. They're yours, right? So we're throwing in a little bit extra, and that's all really cool. But at the end of the day, it's all about the vibration. It's all about the vibration. It's all about the vibration. And that is the main thing that you should be focusing on. So the happy habits out of this whole list are the key thing. The rest are bonuses. They're extra ways that really help you get into that high vibing place more easily at the start of the day, help you stay there, help you stay connected. I do all of these, and there are plenty more I'm going to teach you. But if you just break it down and go, okay, I can't get my head around the grid or the power words or even the micro intentions, just focus on the happy habits. Living in appreciation and happy habits will make the biggest difference overall to your life. Okay, so let me just go through these in a bit more detail for you and break it down. So first of all, power words. These are my power words, and I've had them for quite a while. So I really sat down after doing pretty much the be, do, have exercise that you've already done. And I really thought about, how do I want to feel? You know, who do I want to be and how do I want to feel, and what's that all about? And what are the most important feelings that I need to stay connected to in order to live the kind of life that I want to live? And these are the words I came up with: worthy, abundant, brave, inspiring, and joyous. And I've had these for years now, and I'm still very, very connected to them. So there's been no need for me to refresh them. Mine are on a beautiful laminated piece of paper hanging in the shower. So every morning, that's what I look at. And it just connects me to the vibration, to the version of me, to that version of me that I am continuing to want to evolve into, continuing to grow to an even bigger level. And, you know, you'll notice that these words are not an end point. They are something that will help me continue to grow, continue to evolve. So they really do epitomize what that evolved version of me is all about. And when I can be this person, when I can resonate at these frequencies, then all the things I desire start coming into my experience. And when I look at the last few years, particularly of my life, it's been absolutely incredible what's happened. And it absolutely matches all of these things in every conceivable way. So I really recommend you sit down and come up with your power words, the words that really inspire and empower you, the words that really epitomize that evolved version of you that you are starting to become more and more and more. And do what I did, just get them printed up in some lovely font and laminate them. Shower is a great place to put them. I actually also have a second set of them. In fact, I have 3 sets of them. I've just realized as I'm recording this and looking across at the wall opposite me in my office. I have them right opposite my desk. I have them next to my bed, and I have them in the shower. So there you go. And sometimes it is a case of domestic blindness. I don't know if any of you remember that skit, but, you know, you do start to screen things out if you see them all the time, just as I just forgot that they're right opposite me. But subliminally, at the unconscious level, they are still constantly being reinforced, because my eyes, my conscious mind may not see them, but my unconscious absolutely sees them every single day. Okay, the next one is happy habits. So what are your happy habits? Your happy habits are the things that make you feel fantastic, the things that take you to that high vibing place so easily that you can already do each and every day. So remember that everything you desire is because of the way you think it's going to help you feel, right? But at the end of the day, you don't need the stuff to feel that way. you can feel that way now. And as you start to feel that way now, more consistently, more easily, more frequently, the things that match it can start to flow to you more easily. So, we often tend to do it backwards. We wait for the things outside of us to change so we can feel better. But if you just start to feel better now, the things on the outside of you can actually start to shift and change. So happy habits are really simple, fun, almost childish, but very, very powerful. So your happy habits, I want you to sit down and make a list of all the things you can already do and you do already do that make you feel the way that your ultimate life is going to feel, the way that all that stuff you wrote down in module 1, all those feelings, all those things, and the way that you want to feel every day. What are the things you already do now that help you feel that way? Is it exercise? Is it yoga? Is it meditation? Is it playing with your kids, playing with your dog? Is it dancing around the house? Is it, going out to a movie? Think of as many things as you possibly can. And then I really encourage you to get a little bullet journal type tracker like this happening, where all you do is you just write each of those happy habits on a new line, and then you kind of create all the boxes for each day of the month, and you just color them. Give each one a different color and color them in. Every time that you do them, color them in, and you'll quickly notice, where you're slacking off with making yourself feel good, which sounds insane really when you think about it, right? Why wouldn't you do the things that make you feel fantastic? Why wouldn't you do all you can to make every single day of your life feel as amazing as it possibly can? So that's what the happy habits help you do. And the happy habits help you build those muscles to start being more comfortable and to more frequently live in a more high vibing state. So the tracker like this, which is a bullet journal style, super easy because it's a visual and you can see how you're going. You can see which ones you're doing frequently, which ones you're doing infrequently, where there's been gaps. And it just really helps you stay on track. So this is really simple. It'll take you like 10 minutes to draw one of these up, do a blank one, photocopy it if you want to, and then just use one each month. And that's going to really help train your vibration, because that's what you need to do. Unfortunately, we all have this vibrational set point. We're used to feeling only so good in a day. And if we start feeling much, much better than we usually feel on average, what happens is we hit what Gay Hendricks in his book, The Big Leap, calls an upper limit. So it's when we start feeling way better than we're used to feeling, something that's outside our usual realm, outside of our usual comfort zone of how good we feel, which sounds nuts, but this is how we operate. When you start feeling too good, it's like we're triggering all those old ancient systems of, well, hang on, having way too much fun here, can't be watching out for danger, because that's still wired into our biology. And so then we create something that kind of knocks us back down, and we kind of whack our head on this invisible ceiling, on this upper limit. Now, when you start using the happy habits more frequently, what actually happens is that you incrementally start to become more and more comfortable with feeling good more of the time. So that then replaces the need for you to hit these upper limits every time that you have a week where you really get on a roll and you start feeling great, and then something goes horribly wrong and the wheels fall off. You have an argument with your partner, or you get some huge fine or a big unexpected bill in the mail, and you feel like everything's crashed in a heap again. So happy habits are a fantastic way to keep growing incrementally, to keep stretching and moving that limit of where you're comfortable feeling good, how good you're willing to allow yourself to feel, and moving it up consistently and gradually. So then there's no need to keep, having these horrible experiences where you hit an upper limit and you come crashing back down to earth, and then you have to dust yourself off and feel brave enough to go again. We don't want to live like that. We want to be consistently growing and expanding and evolving and making it a joyful journey. Okay, let's move on to one of my favorite, if not the favorite, process for really setting myself up to live in a high vibrational state, to spend my whole day there. So this is the grid of intention, is what I call it, or you can just call it the grid. So it helps you set a daily intention of how you want to feel that day. And you don't just set the intention like cognitively, quickly make a decision. Oh, how do I want to feel today? Oh, I want to feel pretty focused, or I want to feel calm, or I want to feel relaxed, or I want to feel loved, whatever it is. It's about making the decision, yes, but then actually letting the vibration build, letting the momentum build. Remember, I've talked to you about being on the merry-go-round, the kids' merry-go-round, where you start slowly, but as you build up momentum, it gets faster and faster and faster. And as it builds up momentum, at a good pace, not suddenly, but building its own natural momentum, then you become very, very stable in that vibration. It doesn't wobble. Whereas if you try to go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds, there's going to be a lot of wobble in that, and you won't be able to sustain and maintain it. So the grid is a way that you do invoke law of attraction. You make a start by setting an intention, and then you let the next thing come and the next thing come. And that helps you gather vibrational momentum and create stability. So I'm going to take you through the process. You start with a word that epitomizes and symbolizes the intention of how you want to feel that day. But it's not about the words, and it's not about rushing through a list of words. It's about the feeling and letting the next feeling come and then giving it a name. So it's about attracting to you, allowing law of attraction to kick in and bring you the next similar feeling. So remember, we talked about one thing leads to another similar thing, leads to another similar thing. You cannot just stay where you started. Hold that vibration long enough, the next similar thing, it won't be too far off. It'll be on a very similar vibration. It'll be pretty much on the same vibration but have a different flavor. It will come. It will be attracted because you're holding a vibration for long enough to invoke law of attraction. And the more and more you do that, the more you gather momentum and become stable. So it is about attracting the feeling and then just giving it a name. It is not Sudoku, okay? So here we go. Where this is an example, and I think this is the one I did this morning. So I wanted to feel calm. So I just put that, I draw up this grid, just like that, like you're playing tic-tac-toe. And that's plenty. Sometimes I make them bigger. Sometimes I just do one side of it. It's totally fine. You don't have to complete all of it. It is about staying with the feeling for long enough to gather momentum and to create stability. So I decided my intention is I want today to feel really calm. And I just stay with that. And I go, calm. Yeah, calm feels really good. Starting to feel that now. I'm actually allowing myself to feel it. I'm not just thinking about the word. In fact, the word is totally irrelevant. But that feeling, that calm feeling, that feels really good. And you just stay with it. And in fact, the advanced version of this that I teach is that you refuse to go to a new word until you can no longer resist the new word, because law of attraction is bashing you over the head with it, and you just cannot push it away any longer, or you cannot just stay on the one you're on any longer. So you stay with calm. Oh, I feel so calm. I'm feeling really calm now, just thinking about wanting to feel calm. Isn't that interesting? That nothing really needs to change. Nothing really needs to happen. I can just start thinking about feeling calm because that's how I'd like to feel. And when I think about it for a while and allow myself to slow down and really feel into it, I'm starting to feel it. Wow, that's pretty powerful. It feels so calm, so calm. And eventually the next similar feeling will come and you will give it a name. And you know what? I feel really relaxed. That's right. This calm feeling has this really relaxed vibe to it. I love it. I love feeling so calm, so relaxed, so relaxed. That's really cool. You know what? It actually feels pretty chilled. Yeah, I'm feeling really chilled right now. So calm, relaxed, pretty chilled. I love this feeling. Actually, you know what? This feeling is easy. It feels so easy. I just decided I wanted to feel calm, and I started feeling it. And I noticed how relaxed I am. And I feel so chilled, and all of it just has this beautiful feeling of ease to it. So easy. How simple. That's right. It feels really simple, easy and simple. So calm, so relaxed. When you're calm and relaxed, everything just feels simple and easy. And you just have this sense, you're just sure. You're sure of everything. That's right. Everything's just easy and simple, feeling so chilled, relaxed and calm. It just has that feeling of just, I'm feeling sure, really sure, because it's so simple, it's so easy, and that feels, yeah, it feels sure to me. It feels really certain, more than sure, certain. That's stronger. Yeah, it's gathering momentum now. I'm not just sure, I'm certain. I'm certain. That's really powerful. I'm really certain, really calm and relaxed and chilled and just really certain. It has this beautiful, easy vibe to it. It's so simple. And it feels really certain, really centered and calm in that feeling of being certain. And you know what? I feel guided. Yeah. I feel really, really guided in all of this. And I can feel it gathering momentum now because I feel how aligned I am. That's right. So aligned, so calm, totally certain, beautifully guided. So I can just relax and be chilled. So that is how you do the intention setting grid. It is about the feeling and letting the feeling gather momentum and bring you the next feeling, and then giving that feeling a name. Doesn't matter whether it's the right name or not. It's about the feeling, and you just give it a name. So they don't have to all be adjectives or adverbs or anything like that. They can be whatever next comes. It is simply about this feels like this, and when I allow myself to feel like this for long enough, the next feeling comes. I actually can't resist it. And I give that a name. And the more I add, the more momentum the whole thing builds. So I want you to visualize this. In fact, sometimes I feel like reworking this and putting it onto like a little merry-go-round, because that's what you're doing. You're building momentum. You're actually building momentum. You're starting with a nice center, your central intention, and you start building the momentum and getting the speed up. Okay, I really enjoy that process. So I hope you were totally with me then. So this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to do what I taught you in the last lesson, which is start your day on a high vibe and really practice living in appreciation. And we're going to combine it more and more with intention, with really becoming conscious creators. And intention is not about forcing, it is not about demanding, it is about intending. And then you're going to give yourself little boosts along the way so that you can become more and more stable in that alignment, so that you can stay in that coherent state for longer and more easily. So this is what you're actually going to do. You're going to come up with your list of power words and pin them up somewhere. You're also going to sit down and think of all your happy habits, all those little things that make you feel fantastic that you can totally do right now. Pin them up. Get a tracker started and start doing a daily intention grid. I recommend you just do it over breakfast or over your morning cup of tea. That's when I do it. And I just have a little A5 notepad that is specific for that. But you can do it in your journal if you prefer. It's totally up to you. Now, I'm also giving you an extra thing, which I only want you to worry about once you've got the other stuff sorted. And it's an audio that talks you through how to set a micro intention. A micro intention is when you break the day down into little segments, right? And say you're going to go to the shops and you want to set an intention to have a really smooth drive, you know, with easy traffic and all of that. So you can set an intention for that. So it's a way to, you know, link up the electrical thought energy with the magnetic heart energy and get a coherent signal going, and giving you an opportunity to practice it more frequently throughout the day on lots of little things that you don't really care about, because that's where you want to practice. That's where you want to fine-tune your craft. And you can totally start setting those micro intentions for more important things, for phone calls, for meetings, for all sorts of things. So this process talks you through a little visualization exercise to quickly and easily bring the thought in alignment with the feeling of the desired outcome. So that's another one you can play with. And, you know, like I said, first worry about your power words, your happy habits, and starting to do your daily grid and really getting the practice on that. All of this stuff is there for you anytime anyway. So if you do skip something, make yourself a note and come back to it later. It's totally cool. You've got lifetime access. You know, I'm sure you will be just as excited and engaged in the next live round as you are in this one, because the next live round you're in, you're going to go even deeper, get this at a whole new level, and become even more excited than you are right now. Okay, and then you're going to share in the group. Hashtag power words. So share them with us. Take a photo, share them with us. Hashtag happy habits. Take a picture of your list of happy habits or your happy habit bullet journal tracker and share it with us, and tell us a little bit about both of those. You know, give us a little description. What does it mean? What's it all about for you? And, you know, what are those things on the list? Because remember, every time you explain it to us, you're actually embedding it deeper for yourself into your unconscious mind. And with your buddy, what I want you to do is every couple of days check in with each other. Post a picture of your habit tracker, tag your buddy and go, hey, this is how I've been going. How are you going? Really help each other get into this new habit by keeping each other accountable. And each day that you do your daily intention grid, post it up in the group, go, here's my intention for the day. Tell us how it feels and tag your buddy so that they also keep up the habit and get theirs going. So those two things are really the ones I want you to very much focus on getting in the habit of, because they are truly, truly life-changing. So please, please, please stick close to your buddy and really keep each other accountable and keep encouraging and spurring each other on. And this live call is going to be really awesome. They all are anyway, but we're going to practice some grids. So we'll do it live in the group together. And we're going to practice the micro intentions exercise as well, which is great, because if you haven't had time to listen to it or to do it on your own, then you can do it with me on the call. And we'll talk about happy habits, power words, and anything else. So as always, any general questions, make sure you make yourself a note so that you remember what those questions are that you wanted to ask me, those general manifesting questions, and I'll address them at the end of the call like I always do after we review this lesson. Okay, you've got lots of beautiful things to get on with, and I can't wait to see you sharing it all in the group, and I will see you soon in lesson 3.3. Bye for now.